This is the Wise Guy Radio Show, a podcast dedicated to educating and inspiring through conversations with today's top talents in the world of glass. We will be dissecting their journeys in hopes to deliver actionable content that you, the artist, can start implementing now, helping you grow not only as a creative spirit, but also a successful artistic entrepreneur. With a little organization, relationship building, and your artistic ability, you can obtain greatness. Climb aboard, whether an artist, retail owner, or enthusiast. We have a ton of fun in store for you. Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
You're listening to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by American Helix. The American Helix is a revolutionary new concept in smoking technology. Designed and manufactured by American glassblowers, this pipe is light years ahead of its time. Based on Bernoulli's principle, the shape of the pipe along with an innovative intake system creates a Venturi effect through precision microholes in the chamber, which results in a slower burn that conserves tobacco and gives a smooth, refreshing smoking experience, making the American Helix the smoothest hitting pipe on the market. For further info or to locate their products, you can find them online at AmericanHelix.com. That's AmericanHelix.com. This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by Zen Glass Studios. Located in the heart of St. Petersburg, Florida, Zen Glass has a wide range of offerings to choose from. Their menu includes one-on-one or group classes in their hot shop or flameworking studio, create your own wine glass, and so much more. If you're a traveling artist, they even have a space to rent that you can temporarily call home. With over 50 years of combined experience, Zen Glass can help you fine-tune your techniques, whether you're a novice or advanced glass artist. For their calendar of events, including info about their Third Thursday studio jams, you can contact Zen at zenglass.com. That's zenglass.com. Hey, 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 hey. How the hell are you? Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show, episode number 160. This is your host, Jason Michael, and thank you so much for tuning in today. With 18 years of experience behind the torch, I am as excited as always to bring you conversations with artists, sharing their stories in hopes to inspire and entertain while helping you grow your business. And today is no exception. Today's episode continues our feature all about being a glassblower, lifestyle design, the ability to get up and go and move and live wherever the hell you want to do, if that's what you want to do. Today's guest is Nathan Belmont, goes by N-Belm out there in the glass world. You can find him on Instagram at N-Belm, and I believe it's N.Belm. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head as I'm driving, as you can probably hear, but I will make sure his link is in the show notes so y'all can check out his work. His stuff is fantastic. He is currently residing in Oregon, but is from the great state of Hawaii. Was not born in Hawaii, but lived there for a long time. At least I don't think he was born. I don't even remember if we got into that conversation. Well, anyways, I should know, and I have his bio, which will be in the show notes as well. But that being said, Nathan is a great sculptor, apprenticed under Jupiter Nielsen for several years, until he got his little shit together and found his voice, and continued to work at the place he worked at, and then spread out on his own. And again, he's currently in Oregon right now, hanging out with a buddy of his, doing some glass collaborations, which he gets into and talks about. And just have overall a lot of fun with this conversation. And as again, you can tell I am recording on my earbuds as I am commuting to work. We basically have decided to no longer try to fix the laptop that I have. I'm going to probably just end up giving it back to my daughter and letting her figure it out on her own, as I'm going to be purchasing a new one here this week, or end of this week, I should say. So we'll have everything ready to go, especially with the online courses coming up. I got to get back to all the edits and what have you. So super pumped, and thank you again to my 3 guys who have signed up for the beta test group. They got a pretty heavy discount and are now part of the foundational group of artists that will more or less kickstart this online course series that I hope will change the way that online courses are taught in regarding to the glassblowing scene. I was really, really excited about it. Our first webinar is going to be coming up in 2 weeks, which I'll be getting more into about that next week. If you have not yet subscribed to our newsletter at the website, we have been slacking on that. Yes, I could do it through my phone and send the letters out, but it is a great big pain in my ass. I have a friend of mine who has been learning how to go through the process of doing the newsletters. But that being said, we are definitely back on track next week with the newsletters and getting that all done, because I will have my laptop, and she is also on board with helping me keep things rolling so we can communicate back and forth as I ramble here about this whole situation. So, with that being said, just kind of reiterate the whole idea and philosophy of this month of May's talks is really all about the whole philosophy and concept and idea of being able to literally live the life that you want to live. It's just all about how much dedication and hard work you want to put into your glass when it comes to the knowledge that you retain, the knowledge you learn, the skills, the practicing, learning your medium. And then also, as we all know, you can make $100,000 with a glass a day, but what it comes down to is marketing and selling it, which is a whole nother animal. And next month we are going to be getting into the talk of sales and selling and marketing your work, as it is a huge major factor of what it is that we do. We've got some guests already on board for that, recorded episodes, which I'm excited about, and we definitely look forward to that, all that good stuff. So what else was I going to say? Don't forget, our sponsors, Mountain Glass, has their big sales going on right now. Go to mountainglass.com, check out their homepage. You can check out the art sales link or just the sales page on the front homepage. They have a little banner slider that goes across the front. You can also click on the sales on that. Definitely stay tuned for them. They've got glass for sale, whether you're a soft glass artist or a Boro worker. They've also got kilns and torches available now for sale too. And every month they swap those out, and just depending on what they got available. And if you have not yet set yourself up yet to get your newsletter from Mountain Glass, go to mountainglass.com. Join and sign up there and create your account, and you'll get your little newsletter sent in every week or monthly, depending on when their sales go out. Because they do have their Get It Quick weekly sales, which last about 4 days, and then they have their monthly sales as well. So definitely go to mountainglass.com and check them out. And also, I guess I'll announce this now. I don't usually tend to try to bribe you for doing things for this show, but I'm going to bribe you to do something for this show. So I have made up about 40 pendants. They're these little carb cap, my Wise Guy pendants that I've made up. And I'm going to be giving one away to each person who goes onto iTunes and leaves a review. And all you got to do is just go to iTunes and leave a review. If you don't know how to do this, all you have to do is look on your podcast app on your phone. If you have a Droid, you need to go and search, look up Wise Guy Radio on Google, and then look for the iTunes link, and then you can just go to search and look up the shows. For the iPhone users, for all you iOS fuckers out there, just go to your podcast app, go to your search button, and just put in the Wise Guy Radio Show, and it'll bring up the show homepage, basically, for the podcast. You can look at the reviews that are on there. I'm actually going to do this right now while I'm talking to you, just to make sure I am correct. So right now, I'm opening up the podcast app, going down to search, typing in Wise Guy Radio. And yeah, I'm doing 80 on the highway doing this. Not really smart. All right, pops up. Wise Guy Radio Show with host Jason Michael. It'll say podcast at the very bottom left. Click on the image for podcasts. Then you will see where it says reviews. There's details, reviews, and related. Click the reviews. And then you'll see where it says write a review. You can then click that button. You can write me a review, please. You can leave a star rating as well, which would be awesome. And then take a screenshot of what you have done with your review and send me an email to wiseguymedia@gmail.com. That's wiseguymedia@gmail.com. And what I'm going to do as well is, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get a little thing next week when we do our newsletter showing you how to go about this process. But again, it's pretty simple. Just open up your podcast app, hit the search button, put in Wise Guy Radio, it'll pop up, click the name of the show, go to the bottom left corner where it says podcasts, it'll have the Wise Guy, J. Michael thing there, click on that, you'll then see where it says reviews, click the reviews button, click write a review, and then write me a review. Tell me what you think about the show. The first 20 people that do this will get a free pendant. Now, this is going to cost me some money with shipping and stuff, but you know what? Again, if I got to bribe you to do something, then I'm all about it. This helps out the show. This also helps it get exposure through iTunes. It also helps get our community out there to the world, exposes the show to other people out there besides glassblowers, and lets them know what we are all about. And that's the main reason that I wanted you guys to go on there and leave a review, was just to help expose the show to those that may or may not be in our field. So would be greatly appreciated. Again, when you do your review and you hit save and everything, just take a screen capture of what you did, send me a link or send me the picture and the email. Put in a subject podcast review, and then leave a little write-up and saying hey or whatever, and then leave your image of your screen capture, as well as your address and shipping information, and I will get all these out the door ASAP. So again, the first 20 folks to leave a review will get a free pendant. Now, if there's 21 or 25, I'll probably hook you up too. But I'm trying to keep it at 20. So I've got 40 pendants made, but I don't want to give them all away. So if I have to, I will. So if 40 of you leave a review, then hell, I guess I'll be giving out 40 of them. But either way, just kind of helps out with the show and all that good stuff. And if you have not yet subscribed to the podcast, you can subscribe to it while you're there, which will let you know when we have new episodes popping up, which do all the time. And I guess I'm going to get out of here so I can stop rambling, and I will start yawning. Oh, shit. There we go. As I do when I drive and record. So until next time, enjoy episode 160 with Nathan Belmont, a.k.a. NBelm. And again, as always, thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and tuning in. Share this with your friends and family on iTunes, on your social media things, like I'm still stuck on the podcast apps, on Instagram or on your Twitter feeds and on Facebook. Just do a screen capture of what you're listening to. Maybe share your favorite episode and tell your friends and family all about this show. Would be amazing. All right, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Peace.
Man's inhumanity to man, all those things cause complication in creation. See, the domination of one nation to another nation, all those things cause complication. See.
Hey, what's up, Nathan? Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. It's good to have you on, dude. I've been wanting to bring you on for a while. Yeah, hell yeah. Ever since...
thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, man. So ever since bringing our Mr. Nielsen out there in Hawaii and having him as like our first Hawaiian resident on the show, I definitely wanted to bring you on as well. Not only because of where you live and where you're even now, right now you're in Oregon, but also, man, your skills are fucking killer. Like I've been enjoying watching your growth over the years and your sculptural technique and stuff. And
right on, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
thank you.
yeah, especially some of the recent stuff you've been doing. I was like, I gotta get him on now. I keep slacking. So so here we go. But yeah, man, so this month is all about, and if you're listening to this in like 10 years from now, it doesn't matter, but this month of May in 2017, I'm dedicating to the whole idea of lifestyle design and living where you want to live and can potentially live as a glassblower, because we could take our skills and more or less go anywhere with the right stuff and make a living at it. And being that you're in Hawaii and Oregon now, I definitely want to cover this whole stuff and why I wanted to bring you on. But before we go there, if you want to start us off by kind of just getting into your superhero origin story and how you got started behind the torch.
Well, it was kind of a funny story. I kind of landed into it rather than, I see a lot of these kids these days, they're so eager to like take classes and jump on any little technique they can learn, and they're doing it from their own garage. And really, I had a totally different start. I was actually doing henna tattoos for a living in a little shopping area in Lahaina, and across the courtyard was a little glass shop called Maui Crystal. It was owned by my friend Sean Price at the time, and that's where Jupiter had worked. He was also, I wouldn't say he was in his apprenticeship. He was pretty much past his apprenticeship at that point. He was one of the breadwinners for the shop, but he was working there, and I was able to hang around and kind of loiter enough to where I made friends with them, and eventually someone at that gallery quit, and it was an opening. So Sean, he saw that I had artistic abilities as far as drawing and some sculpting stuff that he'd seen that I had done before, and so he gave me the opportunity to start my apprenticeship. Now that was there was a 6-month probation period where I didn't get to actually torch. I didn't get to do anything on torch. I actually had to do sales and packaging and pretty much everything else besides actually torching that had to do with the glass. So that was kind of and that was like my initiation. And if I were to stick around, then I would then I'd eventually get to torch. So that was kind of his trial and error kind of way of finding talent for the shop. So I stuck around and came in my own time and started doing my own Jupiter was there to actually guide me, and he gave me my first lessons and stuff, but I came in on my own time, and once I got kind of good enough to kind of come up like 1 or 2 designs, then he actually gave me like a paid torch shift. So I was actually getting paid $8 an hour to sit there and torch. But it wasn't like in a sweatshop or garage kind of thing. It was actually pretty badass. So there's like a little bay window where people can walk by and watch you work, and that was kind of like the sign for the shop. That's what attracted people into the store.
Oh yeah, bro, like a moth to a flame, cliche.
Yeah, exactly. Live glass blowing, man. It's a winner. But so that was pretty much that was my life for the next 7 years, is focusing on that and working with Jupiter and working under Jupiter at that time, I should say. He was huge impact on my artistic I had to throw all my artistic ability out the window at first. I kept trying to make all these really detailed designs and really heavily incorporated things that were just falling apart and just wouldn't work out, and I really had to just start from the basics, and having Jupiter there to help me go through those stages was a blessing for sure. So
yeah, dude, it sounds like you got a killer start though, because like for myself, I did the same thing. Like I had 6 months in a shop just filling bottles with glitter and tying ribbons on and hooking little hooks on little cords and all kind of shit before I could touch the torch. You got to earn your keep, and I always recommend that for anybody that wants to do an apprenticeship with somebody new. It's just to make them work for free for 6 months or 90 days or whatever kind of trial, because then they'll see the reality of the heat and the shit you go through, and if it's actually for them or not.
Well, yeah, not only that, it's not only is it really difficult to learn, so it's a huge investment for someone to teach somebody, as far as just to get them to a point where they're self-sufficient. But I was working for him, so I had to produce. So it was, he had to basically, train me for a couple years, and then I would eventually get to a point where I could make stuff and make him money, and then stick around long, hopefully, how artists are, like everybody wants, eventually, of course, I got my own torch and my own setup and started doing my own thing. Yeah. So he had me for like 3 or 4 years, where I could actually sit there and help the shop out and make things for Maui Crystal. It was, I like to think of it as like my, I never went to college, so that was my scholarship. That was that was my formal training in life. So
yeah, absolutely.
I went through it, and it was a blessing for sure. It was pretty awesome.
What were some of the first things you guys were making?
For sure. My first thing that I ever made was a sea turtle. Cool. Most of what we made was sea life, revolved around sea life kind of stuff. So turtles, seahorse, fish, dolphins, those kinds of things. So all out of solid. And it was quite a while ago. There was when I first started, there was a lot of good color out there. There were amber purples and all the cobalts, and there was a whole palette, but it was nothing like there is now. So it was I still got some of that like old school hardcore, having to deal with that shit, kind of the old colors and stuff. So, the older designs were definitely looked older. We didn't have a whole lot of new stuff, and we didn't do too much like blown work or any kind of hollow form sculpture. So it was, it was more of an old school way of doing it, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The same way I do it over at my place where I work at, over at the Mouse House, because it's all we do. It's production stuff, and we're putting a show on as a performance of what we do, but it's still, production in a sense, making stuff solid. I do a lot of blown stuff as well on the torch, but most of it's all sculptural stuff, or it's like the traditional stitch work or the running stitch.
Yeah. I mean, only recently, in the past, I'd say 5 years, I've actually started blowing glass. Everything I did before that was just all solid sculpture. So it was definitely a huge learning curve trying to puff into tubes and start to make something. But
it's totally different.
And it's been, I mean, I'm still challenging myself. I'm still just basically barely making my first rigs and stuff. So it's been a big learning curve. But the solid sculptural stuff has been always something that I've really found that it's just really good meditation for me, I guess. It's something that I feel more confident in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And but breaking those molds and making using new techniques and stuff to achieve different goals has been a huge I'm sorry. I gotta get this out of the way. But yeah, it's been a big blessing and a giant leap into. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing it here.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Yeah. It's been a well,
I know the learning curve. You're good,
anyway.
dude. I crash and burn on this motherfucker all the time, so I can just edit this shit out. It's all good. But yeah, it's a big learning curve, because I know some guys even that have been doing solid work for 20 fucking years plus, and they really don't do much hollow work, and then when they go do hollow work, it looks like garbage. like there's like day one on the torch, like they've never touched glass before, and it's just total. Like I said, it's just apples and oranges. I mean, glass is glass, but it's like understanding heat base on a solid form compared to a hollow form is totally different. There's so many variables you have to deal with. It's like, fuck,
Yeah, completely. And vice versa. Yeah, totally. I see a lot of guys that are, pipers, that they're doing more sculptural work or getting into more sculptural work, and they're having hard times exactly with the heat base and stuff's cracking on them. And when I can see it, because usually, like for a lot of sculptural stuff, it's usually like an attachment or some sort of add-on to the piece. Mm-hmm. So to spend all that time training to make that kind of stuff, where I can see, I when I first started blowing glass, I couldn't get why a lot of pipers can't just do sculptural stuff. Like, you just get the glass hot and turn it into shapes. It's simple to me, but at the same time, they're looking at me trying to like make a butt seal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell? Haven't you been blowing glass for 10 years? Like, no, I've been torching glass for 10 years. I've only been blowing glass for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I remember like back in the day when there were some guys that were coming out with hollow sculptural, stuff, or just sculptural, vessels and rigs and stuff, or water pipes or whatever, and like that had like arms and legs, and I swore that freaking the arms and legs were all hollow, and then I actually held a piece in my hands and I was like, oh shit, this shit's all solid. It makes way more sense. It's way easier to attach a solid arm to a hollow body than it is to try to inflate and add a hollow arm. Like you see like Robert Mickelson do like these female figures and stuff that are all completely hollow from head to toe. It's just amazing, what goes into doing that. It's a huge challenge.
Yeah, totally. I think, to me personally, like that's like if the piece can, if it's like a good transparent color where you can see through the whole thing. I think that like what Robert's doing is like more sculpturally pleasing. but if it's like, I don't know, denser colors and stuff, you kind of get away with it with those, with making solid add-ons. That's the way to go. I guess it's just depending on the color to me with that kind of thing. But lately I've been trying to actually I've actually been practicing sculpting just using bubbles, just using a hollow tube without trying to have apply any more glass. And that's been a huge challenge. That's been I shouldn't say a huge challenge. It's not a negative thing at all.
But it's
a really good time.
Yeah, it's a great way to start, man. Because like I did the same thing. Like I was trying to make octopus and alien faces and stuff without having to add any glass. Except, I mean, like with the octopus, obviously I was adding tentacles to them. But even then, I was trying. Like I'd try to like make a hollow Maria and then cut like 7 or 8 cuts or however many cuts. I think 7. Yeah, 7 cuts I would need for 8 tentacles. And I think that's right. I don't. Anyways. And then pull all my tentacles hollow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 7. And it was always tough as shit trying to like pull each tentacle out hollow. It just wasn't working. So now I just do them almost all of them solid. But like doing like the alien faces and stuff I was first doing, I wasn't adding any glass at all. I was just like using my spoon or a knife to cut the corners and the edges and what have you. But like then I took a class with Coiled and Steve Sizelove, and seeing Coiled do his sculptural stuff and like really blending all his color in first, completely blended, and then going back and cutting all that shit in, just completely changed my perspective on seeing the way the hollow glass is done. Because I do that shit to my solid work, and I can make all kind of stuff in solid with super fucking deep cuts and whatever else. Like I make these manatees, and their bellies all have like fat wrinkles all through them, with just using my butter knife.
Yeah, you do that on tubing, and you're just cutting creases into it.
Yeah, and causing a shit ton of stress.
Yeah,
yeah, it's totally different.
That's been. I've been totally going through that too lately, and I just find when the sorry, man, I'm sorry, I just got my coffee, man. So
that's all right.
I'm still I'm just getting it going, but yeah, I was talking to another glass artist about that, and Coil. I brought him up, because we're talking about sculptural stuff, and I was saying how he's one of my favorite sculptural glass blowers, and just because his work's so clean and so characteristic, and that's, I guess that's what he was, and since then I've been actually trying to do more, weld in all my seals first, and then recut in. Even if I'm trying to apply that detail and I apply it on and it looks great, I kind of re-weld it back in a little bit and then cut it back in, bring it back, just so I know that those seams aren't in there. Some stuff I just, you have to just kind of get away with, just to get that certain, when you're, putting in like an eye or something, there's no way to melt that all in. You have to have that detail to achieve that. So
yeah,
it's kind of a balance. It's just I've just getting better and better all the time, I guess, but it's just a balance between, I don't know. I think it's a gut feeling with you and as an artist and your piece, and how confident you, because I mean, if it comes out good, it comes out good, and but you have to keep in mind, is it going to be something that's going to be on a shelf, or is it going to be in someone's pelly rolling around the country or whatever?
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah,
that's the things to keep in mind. And so, coming from a sculptural background, killing old bad habits has been, especially being, in my 30s, I'm not so young anymore. I'm kind of getting set into my ways somewhat, I guess. Yep. But it's been a lot of fun relearning how to do a lot of new techniques, or new to me anyway. So.
Yeah, totally, dude. Because it's amazing the shit you can get away with in solid work, and then it's, you can just like roll a little frit on it. Like I remember seeing something that when I took that Quo class, and he was just doing a lot of details in clear, and then would just roll it back into some powder, and then just blend it in, and so now it's colored, and then he would just do a quick little cut in for like a brow or some shit, But like,
wow, crazy.
But before seeing that, I would do it in color and then get away with it, and then I would do it again in color the exact same fucking way, and I wouldn't get away with it. So it's like, it's so unpredictable on what result you're gonna get. You're hoping that you're gonna get the same result every time, but it ain't fucking McDonald's, So it's like, it's fun and exciting and a kick in the balls all at the same time.
Yeah, it's fun trying out new techniques, man. And lately, what I've been doing, the series that I've been working on with my buddy Scott here in Oregon, here in Salem, a series of collabs that we've done. We've probably done like 20 or something in the past month, like pretty epic. I mean, we haven't posted many photos of them yet, but
Cool.
we have a lot of new work coming out. But that's a lot of that is because basically the ideas that we've had are just like, let's do this, and then he's like, can you do this? And I'm like, I don't know, let's try it. And then we do, and then it comes out. And I've been constantly challenging myself with new designs, like almost on each and every one of these pieces. So it's been quite an experience, actually. It's been a kind of a whirlwind in the past couple months. Like I've really felt a huge personal growth as just being more adaptable, I guess. I mean, me coming out here from Hawaii and just kind of landing into the scene here out here, it's just been like, I feel like I being a sculptural artist, that's kind of what I have to offer to the community. But at the same time, just trying to conform my designs to be able to be on functional work has been, a big learning challenge, just a really cool experience. It really has been. So.
Yeah, it sounds like, especially when you can work with an artist that's already established, like as a hollow worker that can help guide you in a sense.
Yeah, totally. And his style is so clean and so just like classy looking, and it just really creates like a really good sculptural base to add on different elements to change and give different themes and styles. And I think our work complements each other well. So it's been really fun for the past few months, and I'm super blessed to have him as a homie. He's totally helped me out. I'm staying in his shop and just kind of getting my roots grown out here in Oregon and getting my bearings. And so, yeah, I just landed, basically. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's a bit of a time change, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's just a whole life change. Maui glassblowing is so different. There's, no one. I mean, you can get the delivery guy to deliver oxygen to your house, but it's going to run you quite a bit more money than it would out here. So it's just really not feasible. So you're working off concentrators out there. That's what I run off of in my shop on Maui. It's just a couple little small concentrators, and I can make pendants all day, like that, and smaller spoons and stuff like that. But to really get into larger work and to be able to work at a reasonable speed, you really need that. You really need that extra boost. And so just that, that's one factor. And just being in a community that's so open and so loving is the craziest inspiration, man. It's just like giving me all the juice I need to keep going. So,
hell yeah. Yeah, so speaking of oxygen in Hawaii, isn't that shit like super fucking crazy expensive if you were to buy it?
For the longest time, yeah, man, it was like $180 a K-tank. Now, if you're a local and you kind of know a guy or whatever, I've heard of other dudes like getting it for deals, but that's. But if you just want to walk in and like if you want to go to Hawaii for a month and blow glass and try and get a setup, you might as well just not. You might as well just try and get in someone else's studio or something.
Yeah. But
yeah, it was like 180 for a while, and it's
just
funny
like for a K tank, like a 282 or something.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if when you talked to Jupiter, I don't know if he had mentioned it, but he ended up. He was at his job. He was working at a gallery one day, and I guess one of the CEOs, the CEO, the president, or vice
for
president
Airgas.
Airgas.
Yeah, he mentioned that. I wasn't sure if I could mention it on the show or not, but if you're bringing it up, I'm gonna just let it roll.
Yeah, shoot, man, he deserves the cred for that, man. Because he cut the oxygen prices in half for Hawaii glass blowers, which
that's
now
awesome.
So it's $90. Now it's $90 a K tank. So
fucking A.
Still kicking the balls, but
oh my god.
Yeah. So you got to be really careful what you're making, man.
Yeah, no shit. There's it'd be hard to fuck around.
Well, you don't. I mean, that's why Jupiter and myself, we both run off Regalia regalia oxygen concentrators by
Okay.
Sequal. So those are really, they're really good. They're really awesome, and they're I've had mine for like 8 years now.
Nice.
Should not. It's still going, but that's what I mean. You'd be surprised what you can get done with just that. You know, you can do a lot with that, but it does hinder your ability to work in size or certain colors. It doesn't like, because you can't really get a super good oxidized flame. So, you know, darker colors, some like blacks and cobalts and stuff, kind of fuzz out. So it's
Yeah, makes sense.
It's not ideal, but it's doable. So, you know, you got to find a way to do it out there, and it's kind of like out there. It's just like you just got to weigh out. You know, do I want to live in Hawaii and just kind of deal with this and like figure out a way to make this happen, and then you have the ability to go to the beach all the time, like, or do I want to like work realistically and, you know, be somewhere else? So that's just kind of like, you know, you can all going out there. You could definitely like say you could invest into a larger into a larger concentration system, but then the price of electricity is so much, you know, it would definitely, it would be a lot cheaper to run something like that than buy oxygen. But,
Right.
So,
Well, do you find like
so basically?
Oh, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'll ask in a second.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically it's just working off learning to work off a low pressure is has been the way that I've found to keep going and keep making money through glass. So, you know, it's really cool out there. Actually, it's like it's a small glass community out there, but everybody pretty much knows each other. You know, more or less, we all get along, and there's not a whole lot of you know, backstabbing or bullshit like that. So, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, like you need a tool, you can just call up a homie, and there's still someone there for you. So it's, you know, it's good.
Yeah, it's killer.
Nothing like out here.
Right.
Yeah. There's no supply stores out there. So,
do you find like being on an island, like literally trapped in I mean, even though you're not, but you are, by outside sources of education per se, you know, like you're saying, you can't really work that hot necessarily doing like bigger form vessel stuff, you know? So do you find like it's hindered your growth as an artist, or do you think maybe it's actually helped you because you've been able to really fine tune and focus what you are doing now? So,
I'd say both. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and you know, being out here, I can, you know, you go to these different glass shops, and there's so many glass blowers out there that it's really common to run into like a 22-year-old kid that rocks at glass, you know. And that's like, it took me like 5-6 years before I got my glass looking where people were like, wow, that's cool, you know. It took me a long time, you know. And so yeah, it was the isolation factor definitely hinders a lot of that growth, and especially like the hyper evolution of what glass is going through right in the past 10 years, you know, in America is, you know, we were kind of away from that in a sense, but we were connected enough, you know. Jupiter was always like, he's like old school. He was on like, what was it, glassartist.org back in the day.
Yeah.
He was always like he was still in the scene, you know, from afar. He was always, and I was kind of like hanging on his coattails that way. Like I've never really been into, you know, being online a lot, you know, and I got my first laptop like last year.
Nice.
But, so I was never really connected with anybody that way. And I think I came in just a little late for that. I don't know. I just never really got connected that way, but Jupiter did definitely, he stayed in contact with a lot of artists and made friends with a lot of people that are still in the industry today. But the isolation factor did provide, yes, definitely, we're kind of like on our own island. So you know, we don't have all this extra influence to kind of determine what our next piece is going to look like. You know, like we're just kind of like, okay, well, let's make it look like this. And from doing that, just from that spontaneous kind of unknowing, like not knowing how to do things kind of factor, we end up stumbling across things that that are unique and provide something for us to work our own style off of.
Right. Well, not to mention an incredible environment to have influence your work as well.
True.
And culture.
True that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's really nice to be able to like take a few days off, go hiking, go to the beach and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah,
it's harder and harder. I mean, it became harder and harder as I started blowing more and more glass, but definitely, I mean, yeah, it's really good to be able to have that release out there.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
So in your line of work, when did you start to transition from the sea life? I mean, I'm sure you're still doing that, but from that into where you are now, like doing more of like the faces and the heads and the gargoyles and stuff?
Well, I mean, I still do actually my proto is still sea life stuff. Like I make these sea turtles that I sell in a gallery in Lahaina on Maui.
Nice.
And I still make sharks and fish every once in a while too. But I'd say like right away, like as soon as I could figure out, like one of the first things I tried to start making was like a spider, and then it fell apart, and I was like, oh man, this is hard. But like as soon as I could figure out basic shapes, I started trying to make like in my own time, but trying to make my own, my own designs and like, whether just like random symmetrical shapes or just like a skull, some like primitive skull that I try to make, or I was like always like pushing for that. Like I really didn't want to get pigeonholed into being just that. I don't think I ever had that in mind, as just making sea life stuff. It was what I had to do to stick around. So that was 90% of what I did.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
up until about 2010. So
okay.
yeah, from 2004 to 2010 is pretty much that. And then once I got my own shop, I had my own little studio in my mom's backyard.
Right.
That's when I started having my own time and my own, being able to put more time into my own emphasis. So.
Hell yeah! Did you balance out both at the same time that you were doing that?
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah. And I'm still balancing it. I still try to dedicate a good portion of my time to doing that type of work. I mean, I like to try to have a finger in a lot of pies. I don't want to make it sound weird like that, but like I as a kind of a safety thing, I want to have different options in my career.
Oh, dude, smart. Absolutely.
So I want to keep, the galleries that I've sold to in Hawaii, I'm still in good relations with them, and just so I always have something that I can do if something starts going south, or if I get bored with a certain aspect of my work. So yeah, it's good to be able to kind of move around like that. So
yeah, you have to diversify. I mean, it's so important. Not only just to learn your medium, but like you're saying, dude. Like as a pipe maker, sure, let's make pipes all day, but if the shit hits the fan, I mean, who fucking knows what the way our shit is in this country? Sometimes I question it. Might be number two. I pray to God it never happens, but shit does go down, and if you can't make some solid work that you think you can sell, it's like, it's one of those things. I mean, I know it all goes on. I was part of all that and went underground and still continue doing my thing, but I just think it's good to diversify, and mainly for the technique side of things, not just because of Armageddon, but because it's beneficial as an artist to understand the properties of glass. Because like thinking back to those turtles you did, like making turtles, it's such a simple concept of a thing to make, but it's also very deceptively simple. Like being able to add fins and a tail and a head onto a body that looks like a turtle shell, and then when you flick those things after they're cold and they don't come off, you're doing it right. I'm sure you probably had the fin flick test,
Oh yeah. Actually, Jupiter was pretty cool about that kind of stuff. He would at least he would tell me it was a piece of shit. He wouldn't just flick it off.
Yeah,
so.
That's good, because I know he mentioned that happened to him. Yeah. So it's probably why he was gentle on you.
Oh yeah, he had a little more rougher going with that. Definitely. Now you can see why he's so meticulous about his welds. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I try to be the same way too. I definitely, I definitely try to hold that standard. I'm really, really blessed that I had him and Sean. Sean was my other mentor.
Yeah.
He was more though. He was just like, he would just be like, all right, I'm gonna make a shark, so you better watch closely. And then, with no, no real instruction, no verbal instruction, he would just sit there and make it and be like, all right, your turn. So which was kind of cool too, because it was just forcing me to use my own brain and try and figure it out with my own, on my own. So
yeah, absolutely.
To have both of those to go back and forth, as mentors was huge. It was huge.
Yeah, especially when you understand them, because like right now with me doing my apprenticeship in the hot shop, like Charlie set me up, did a couple demos, and then he walked away. And and I'm doing this in front of people too, so it's a little bit with my little shtick I do. I tell them it's like either I'm gonna make an ornament or it's gonna be the comedy hour. We'll find out, kind of thing. But he understands that I have an understanding for glass before even getting into this, so he feels comfortable knowing he can walk away, and if I burn myself, I'm not gonna freak the fuck out like somebody brand new on a torch might freak out. Oh my god, I burnt myself. I'm like, I can't work anymore, kind of bullshit.
Call 911.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. But then as I begin to understand the soft glass and the flow of the furnace work and everything else, and understand the ornament that I'm making, I can then approach him with questions. And then he can answer back, and I totally understand what he's saying, so I can then keep making my adjustments to where now I can make a perfect ornament. I mean, I've been back there 4 weeks now doing this, and
right on.
It's like anything else, like you're saying. It's just if you understand what you're doing, then I have this online course I'm launching in July, and part of the main reason I want to do this course is to just give everybody that wants to jump on board on this a strong foundation of knowledge of borosilicate or just glass in general. So then you can watch like a Dustin Revere video or go take a class somewhere or see whatever webinar, and you can understand what the fuck is going on, and then actually attempt it in a realistic manner and not just being like, hey, look at me, I can do a Jesus seal. I can't make a fucking rig or a spoon, but I can do a Jesus seal. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, totally.
It's so important, and like you got that foundation, dude. I mean, even just the fact that they may just sit and bust your ass for 6 months and work and prove yourself, that right there makes you humble as shit to appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I don't think I would be able to appreciate what I'm doing right now as much as if I didn't have that. And it became. That 6 month period, you have to, if you're going to be a shopmate with somebody, your family, and you got to get used to that person and all their mannerisms and idiosyncrasies. And, if you can deal with that, then it's cool. It's kind of like a relationship, it is a relationship.
Yeah,
and,
big time.
So just to have people around you that you enjoy being around. And, that's important. And, just to be able to, have that appreciation for what it is. A lot of people, I don't see a lot, but I'm sure there are people out there. I don't really know any personally. I don't want to say any names or anything, but people that get into glass specifically just to make money.
Yeah.
Just to make money. And I don't know, that's cool. Hey, we all gotta make a living, right? And it's a good job. But like for me personally, the evolution of the glass and the appreciation of the glass and just that stoke that you get when you open up an oven in the morning is like what it's all about.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And it's funny, like timing wise, you're bringing this up because I literally just recorded, which is going to be going out on Tuesday, an episode about that exact thing. Like I asked 3 questions. I asked why and what and how. And the why is, why the fuck are you doing this for? If you're doing it just for the money, fucking awesome, do it. But make sure people understand that, you're not just being like, hey, I'm a fancy artist, but on the backside, you're like, right. Fuck all this bullshit. I'm just here to make this cheddar, fuck everybody else, kind of thing. Just be upfront with it,
Yeah.
And it's because totally. It's important to understand, like, because for me personally, I'm the same. Like, my bills make me work, which makes me pay my bills, or allows me to. But other than that, bro, I would do this shit for free every fucking day of the week for the rest of my life if I could afford that,
Yeah, I've been having these fantasies like, oh wow, if I won a Powerball, and I like had $100 million, what would I do? Would I quit blowing glass? I'm like, oh, I'd have the fattest shop ever.
Exactly, dude. I'd have a fucking
anything.
Glass condo. Come rent some fucking space. We got 100 rooms here. Have fun, kind of thing.
Totally, right?
Like an Airbnb or something for glass blowers.
Yeah, that would be the bomb, man. That would be so epic.
Yeah, man.
And not to have to worry about sales. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I know. And it's so funny. Like, as I was thinking the other day about this course I'm doing, it's like there's a heavy segment of this course I'm teaching. It's all about selling your glass and the marketing aspect of it. Because it's like we could sit around talking about making this shit all day long, dude. I'll make 100,000 pieces, and they'll probably sit in my shop for the next year. If I don't go out there and try to sell it. So that's just like another
totally.
whole another part of it. Yeah. So I guess
it's a balance.
Yeah. So So speaking of that, man.
Balance.
So besides your little gallery that you have, like, how else do you go about selling your stuff?
Well, obviously Instagram is the biggest or most helpful channel that I have found. I wouldn't just rough it out as Instagram, but yeah, it definitely provides me a way to show my work to a lot of people in a really, really fast way, and in a good way too, because I can take my time with pictures and, and curtail the work in the way that I want to, and in a really simple way. So, but for a while I had an Etsy store going, and that was really good. That was a lot. That was kind of, I wouldn't say a lot of work. I mean, it was a lot of work. Basically, I had to take a day off in the week to round up all my stuff for Etsy and sit and take good pictures and, post and edit edit and post everything. And it was just something that I couldn't do when I was in the shop, so I'd have to take a full day off just to do that. But it was definitely productive, and it worked. But you got to work it, you got to put your work, you got to make it look good. So and that takes some energy. But since I've been traveling back and forth from Hawaii to Oregon, I put my Etsy's been on airplane mode vacation mode, sorry, for the past year. So, just going back and forth with different wholesalers and collectors, and I've been lucky enough to just bounce from sale to sale and keep going. So
hell yeah,
it's been working out pretty good that way. And I've kind of stripped the fat, I guess you could say, on my life. Like I've cut the fat. I've been kind of traveling really lean. I try to save my money as best as I can, and just not having to worry about making the volume of sales to make my bills, because I got rid of a lot of my bills.
Hell yeah, that's smart.
It's just kind of, for now, I mean, obviously I need a car and a place, and things are going to have to fall back into place here. But for now, it's been a good time for me to just really focus on the work that I'm working on, and really be able to have more fun with my work, which makes it sell faster. So
yeah. How long you staying in Oregon for?
But I don't know. I'll probably be here till May, and then I'll go back to Hawaii for a little while and stay with my family for like a month, and then come back out here. It's kind of all it's all determined by if I can find a place and a car and all this stuff. So I'm just I've been here a few weeks, and I've just been in the studio the whole time, just torching. So,
yeah.
Which is a good thing, but I do got to get out there and go and explore this beautiful state more. So
hell yeah,
yeah.
That's killer. So are you going to try and travel around the country some more, or is like Oregon like your other home base?
Well, yeah, definitely, man. That's why I'm really trying to save up for a good car, so that way I can really make a cool little tour. I kind of want to go south, go down the West Coast, and then head east. I don't know if I'll make it all the way to the East Coast via car, but I definitely want to travel around. I mean, that's been a huge goal of mine for the past for years now. Is getting off of the island and traveling around, and experiencing all these cool shops and meeting all these awesome artists that are dotted all over the country. And I think it's really important for me to do as far as a career move, as far as just, from being so isolated in Hawaii. It's kind of, I feel since I can, I'm single, I don't have any kids, like I got, why not, so
Absolutely.
That's pretty much where I'm at with it right now. It's just kind of, I'm not in any hurry, but at the same time, I'm definitely trying to be as focused as I can on keeping moving. So
yeah. Well, and you're doing it smart though. Like you're saying, you're traveling thin. You're not like, having 40 suitcases with all your clothes and shit and everything else in it. You're just living with necessities like a Buddhist running around the country blowing glass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I got like 3 suitcases, so I'm kind of like a luxury Buddhist. But yeah, it's like
I'm the same way, bro. Totally.
yeah.
At least 3.
You need your tools. So
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So, but that's just traveling light is the key right now for me, and that way, I don't have to put so much pressure on making big sales or even just to make a quick buck, like sell my nice stuff for cheap. Like it's giving me. I don't know. It takes a little of the steam off. So
yeah, it's but if as an artist you could sit down and figure out like your basic finances and know what you need to live off of, and then start putting shit away, a little bit aside here and there, and then eventually you can save up and be able to travel like that and do your thing. Even if it's going to a trade show, I mean, whatever the fuck it is, it's just cool that we have this opportunity as artists to set these goals, and potentially if we work your ass off and do the right channels and what you got to do, then you can fulfill those dreams and goals.
Yeah, having good manners has been helping me too. It allows me to stay at people's houses and they're stoked with having me over rather than,
Yeah, exactly. Wash your dishes and don't be a fucking slob.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. If you're a traveling glass artist, frickin' be polite.
Yeah, flush your toilet after you take a dump, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We put the seat down, all that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah. Like I got a buddy of mine I stay out with out in Orlando when I'm working out there because it's like an hour and a half commute, and I met him through Instagram, and he was a collector, and now we've become like really good friends. But I realized a couple weeks ago I left my toothbrush in the shower, and I was like, well, shit, isn't it like usually like when someone ends up staying a long-term time, they leave their toothbrush behind, kind of thing. So I sent him a little text message laughing about it. I was like, I'm not trying to impose on you, but I know my toothbrush is over there, so I guess I left my mark.
Yeah, totally. That's how that's good, man. That's and that's the beauty of this lifestyle right here is that you're able to travel around, and it forces you to get out of your box and meet new people and try new things out. I mean, it's all for the better. I think it makes the art better, and it adds a lot of value to this career in the glass career. I mean, that's kind of what my dream was when I first started blowing glass, right? It's like I want to be able to travel, and I want to make good money off of my work, and and be able my idea of my lifestyle idea was not like sitting behind a torch like for most of my life. That's not what.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's smart though, man. Because I love talking shop talk. I mean, I love talking glass, and that's part of the show. Is I love having these conversations. But right now, what you're saying, dude, is what I love to talk about the most. Like, again, why are we doing this shit for? Like, sure, I'm gonna bust my ass 30, 40, 50 hours a week to pay my bills, save up some money, live the life. But really, ultimately, for myself personally, dude, I've been like in the surfing community my whole life. I live on the west coast of Florida, so we have no waves. So I end up windsurfing and different things to kind of just stay within that whole spiritual mindset, of like I'm on the water, it's my thing. But like
it's your meditation.
Yeah, totally, dude. But like my whole goal was like as a glass blower was just to be able to be like, okay, I want to be able to get up in the morning, go walk the fucking beach for an hour, come back, do a little workout, blow glass for like 10 hours, and then go back to the beach and have a drink, watch the sunset, etc. And like my buddy, we were talking last week, and he was like, "Dude, I just got back from Costa Rica. He goes down there like every couple months and goes surfing." And he's telling me the story, he's telling me the story, and I'm just like, I'm like there with him in this story, and I'm like, God damn, that's exactly what the fuck I had been waiting for. And basically, he met some cats down there that were on their way out to the fucking water to go get towed in on. It was like the time of year we're down there on this island. They have like waves that go for like miles, at a time. Maybe 4 or 5 feet high, but there's certain times of the year where these waves just pick up, and it's like a 40-mile coast. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but it goes on forever. So they go off like a mile offshore. He's like, he met these guys that are sitting on their fucking surfboard. It's sunset in Costa Rica, and they're getting towed in to ride these fucking waves for the next couple hours as the sun's going down. And I'm just like, what the fuck have I been doing? It just sounds so incredible. You know what I mean? I mean, even if it's just to be on the water like that at sunset, type of thing in Costa Rica is incredible. So that's the kind of shit I'm going to start doing. So I'm going to start doing these broadcasts, hopefully from somewhere down in the islands eventually,
man.
On vacation.
Take this show on the road, man, on location, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about it. And that's part of the goal with the show too. Like my initial design with this podcast was to be able to do interviews on site in studios with artists, and then like we'll collab on a piece, we'll do the interview, and then do a video of like a technique or something like that they would share, for like the website. So that's what we're gearing up towards for next year, the round of next year for the show.
Yeah, man. Let me know, man. Hopefully, I'll have I'll be more technologically advanced by then, and I'll have a better phone and be able to do something.
Well, if you're in Hawaii, dude, I would love to just come out and like hang out with you in Jupiter, and then we can just sit down, like have like a round table discussion on the beach, freaking hanging out, watching the sunset.
That would be epic. That would be super epic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. So
yeah, especially since I've been out here for like a month and I haven't seen it. Probably miss it. A little homesick, but yeah, no, Oregon's a beautiful place. So
are you like up in the mountains in the woods up there?
No, I'm in Salem actually.
Okay.
Salem, Oregon. So it's a chill town. It's Salem, Oregon is like right in between Eugene and Portland. Okay. So for the glass, it's like kind of a dope location. It's like really it's quiet, so there's not a whole lot of distraction as far as like partying and just random, craziness. So it's kind of a mellow town, and it's an hour away drive from either Eugene or Portland. So like if you want to get into the city, it's like right there. So
right.
For me, it's like perfect right now. I don't know how long I'll be here, but for now it's working out really well. I might come back. I kind of think I'm gonna get a car and do a little bit of traveling, and then maybe come back here to work, because I just really dig Oregon, and this part of this particular part of Oregon is the up the 5 basically is where I found most of my friends out here. So
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's, to me, the whole traveling lifestyle is really part of what I'm doing. It's inherent to not only like trying to network and meet new people, but just getting out, just the experience, the opportunity that this job affords me to do, because that's, you have to live that life. You have to force yourself to get out of the house and do stuff like this, because I mean, I know a lot of glassblowers can admit that they have issues with spending too much time working, and they're not getting enough of their own life in. It's a balance. I mean, glassblowing is not a bad life. I mean, it's really a great way to spend your time, but it's hard on your body and it's hard on your head, and just to have so much expectations out of yourself constantly can be taxing. So, dude,
I completely agree. Get out. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. I think like part of my issue, and I know a lot of other artists, it's like the expectations that we have, that the customer has on us, of like getting our shit done in time. And just that, not everybody does this. I mean, obviously, but I know myself. I've always like set this it's an expectation for myself based on what I think their expectation is, kind of thing, which is probably not at all, what it is, but, or I think what they, thinking of what they have expectations are false. Anyways, that can create anxiety, and it can create, and a kind of hindrance into your creative flow too in the process. So it's like to be like you're saying, to get away, get a break. Even if it's for a half an hour or 45 minutes, and then come back and get refocused, because it's so many times there's like some shit goes down and you're like, fuck, now I got to call up this person and tell them it's gonna be a couple more days, blah blah blah, and that just adds to more stress, and then then things go really bad. You know what I mean? So it's like it's so important just to to recognize that, and if you're in that place, to go for a bike ride. And again, it's the part of us being able to do this, dude. If you had a job that you were doing a 9 to 5, you couldn't be your boss like, hey, work sucks right now, I need to go for a fucking walk. They're gonna be like, bitch, get to work. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, totally.
Or go home.
You start smoking, maybe you get a smoke break.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about it.
Not fair.
But here's what we can do, man. We can stop right here, take a little break, thank our sponsors, come back and do the lightning round or the crash and the killing round, and then if that thought comes back, then we'll carry on.
Okay, cool. All right, sounds good.
All right, cool. This segment of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by Zen Dude Fitness. Lose 10 pounds this month by joining the Zen Dude Fitness 4-week jump rope fat loss challenge. Brandon and Dan will take you on a guided journey towards becoming the best you. Get fit, have fun, and find new ways to eat healthy while still enjoying the sweeter side of life. Just takes 20 to 30 minutes a day and no gym required. For more info and to sign up for the free 4-week challenge, go to wiseguymedia.com/ZenDudeFitness. That's wiseguymedia.com/ZenDudeFitness. All right, we're back. Easy, quick break. So,
right.
Yeah, man. So the Crashing the Kiln round consists of 7 questions. I think it's 7 now. And if you want to give me a 30 to 60-second answer on these questions, you can. And then we can also expound upon them as always. And then the first question I always like to ask, which is always a doozy, is if there is any living glass artist that you have not yet worked with and you want to work with them, who is it and why?
I would probably say, shoot. Dang, man, that's a toughie. I'd probably say Jamie Burris, because she's a friend of mine and she's one of my favorite glass artists altogether. Her fused glass design, she's just kind of like one of those like hyper genius people that can do anything with glass. Like, you know, we had a collab in mind like a year ago, and we were talking about doing it, and we just haven't done it yet. So, and it's something that I really, really, really want to do, but it's more of a, I guess it's just more of like, I wouldn't just say for fun collab, but it's a kind of an obscure design, so it's not just like aiming for sales, you know. It's just more of like a you know, flexing kind of thing, like we did this,
yeah, fucking A
kind of thing. But
yeah.
But she's a dream to be around. She's so fun. That's like off the top of my head, that's probably
cool.
Yeah, Jamie Burris.
Yeah, dude, I've been following her for years. I need to get her on this show. You know, I know she's not like a flame worker per se, but the shit she does in glass. I mean, I remember seeing some of her first stuff, and I was just like, I had like double takes kind of thing, and I had to contact her. I was like, holy shit, girl, this stuff is incredible. I know the hours it takes to go into just cutting glass, much less compose it and then fuse it and then hope it comes out in the very end, and then all the other cold working and I mean, just mind blown. She's a badass.
Yeah, I mean, to add such like a fun body of work that's like, you know, with such a cool sense of humor and colorful and like kind of lighthearted a lot of the time, but just so seriously made, you know, just like incredibly like perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of the, you know, so it's like, I don't know. And you know, she's not a Boro artist, so, you know, it'd be gluing a lot of glass together basically at the end of the collab, but, you know, I think it'd be epic.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get her on the show. Maybe I'll contact her, but we can together tag team on that and get her ass on here.
Yeah. She's cool. That'd be awesome if she came out.
Hell yeah. So next question I like to ask is, what are your top 5 favorite colors in glass?
Top 5 favorite colors. I'm going to start with amber purple. Get that one out of the way. It's always been one of my go-to colors. It's a very versatile color. You can get a lot of different effects out of it, you know, by encasing it or by, or just, you know, leaving it as a surface. So amber purple. Illuminati, probably, yeah, guaranteed. Jet black, Boro bars white, and caramel, and
well, that's 5.
That's 5?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Wait, do I need 6?
Nope, it was 5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, those are my faves.
Awesome. What is your worst injury in the studio?
I had when I was working in Lahaina, I was dating this girl, Mary, and she had stopped by to say hi, and at the time she saw me looking at another girl, you know, when she stopped by to visit me, and so she opened up the studio and like slapped me in the face really hard, and that's about it. I haven't really been burned too bad.
That's fucking awesome, dude. That's the first time I've had that, and that's fantastic. I appreciate the honesty.
The bitch slap. That was my worst torch injury ever.
That's hilarious. Were you like actually like balls deep on the torch, like making something?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. No, I had my hands full, and she just like opens up the little studio door. I'm like, hey, baby, smack! And just catch a good one, and it was a good little wallop there, you know. It sucked. You know?
Oh my god, that's fucking
That
awesome.
was lame.
That's why I love doing this podcast too, because I find out some shit that just cracks me up like this I can share. Oh, that's
a broken heart. That was my worst injury, bro.
Oh, poor little baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's killer. So, for entertainment purposes, when you're in the shop, do you watch TV, listen to the radio, or do you do both?
I'm music. I'm all about music. I mean, the TV, I do like watching TV, but I don't watch TV. I just listen to TV.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of crazy, actually. You can like listen to a movie like 100 times without it getting old. It's weird. But I prefer just music. You know. Yeah. Music really? All the way. Yeah, but you gotta it's all about getting those the playlists and stuff down, because you know music can also be a big distraction too. You know, you're if you're not like in a good vibe and you're trying to find the right song, and it's just like, I don't know, it can be kind of distracting. And sometimes you're like in a killer, like just such a good flow, and then a shitty song comes on, and you're like, this kind of changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but it's just not as fun anymore. So.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah.
But not just the torch, not just the sound of your ventilation.
Yeah.
Anything but that.
What kind of stuff you listen to?
I like to try to keep it pretty versatile. I don't know. I like a lot of hip hop and reggae and stuff. It's got a good rhythm for glass, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good rhythm, a good consistent kind of beat that it's good for the turning movements in glass, I guess. For me anyway. It gets me into a good. And something that makes you want to dance a little bit. I think it's good to like move around, you know, especially if you stand while you're working and stuff. You don't want to just stand there straight all day. You want to kind of like get moving, you know, get some blood flowing, hop around a little bit. I don't know. That's always healthy.
Yeah, dude, I love some good old dance hall like reggae in the studio.
Yeah, anything that gets the blood pumping a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up too about standing. I was going to ask you that earlier, if you sit or stand or do both when you're working.
I'd prefer to change it up as much as I can, but you know, when you're traveling and stuff, you end up doing what you got to do. So
yeah. I've
been just standing lately, but when I have to do heavily like super detailed stuff, I like to sit down.
Yeah.
And have my elbows rested. So,
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! And the last question, which I have changed up now, but I guess basically, what are your top 5 favorite tools that you currently use? Top
5 favorite tools. I have these little tweezers that I've had for like ever, you know, let's start with my Mirage. Yeah, my Mirage is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But then these little tweezers that are just, you know, basic plucking tweezers, but I like cut them and they're smooth at the tips.
Okay.
So I use those for everything, you know, sculpting and stuff. Tungsten pick. I got this really cool little pocket knife that I just got a little while ago that's working awesome for carving. I think it's 4. And my graphite paddle. Yeah.
You ever use a spoon?
A spoon?
Yeah.
For what?
For carving.
No.
All right. I recommend this to everybody every time I ask this question. So yeah, dude, if you can find yourself a spoon that has like an oval shape or a round shaped handle, get one. Mm-hmm. You'll use that motherfucker for contour shapes, curves, convex. Like if I'm doing character work, I use it for like carving out like their bottom jaw or like the top of their mouth. It's great for eye sockets.
Oh, for doing like curve cuts like that, right?
Yeah, all kind of stuff. Totally. And even just being able to dig, like to get like a nice scoop of the glass and just move a bunch of shit at one time, kind of thing. If you want to like dig deep into something.
Dope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a good spoon, man. Any metal that you suggest? A silver spoon, right? Yeah,
I would just, I honestly don't know what mine is. It used to have like a weird coating over it that's obviously not there anymore. But yeah, I think any kind of like, I don't know if it's stainless steel or what it is. I don't put mine in the flame ever. But typically, I just get use a little beeswax and I'm good to go.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get myself. I'll post a pic or something, or I'll tag you in it when I do some cool spoon carving.
Yeah, I want to see it. Hell yeah.
Weird.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. So before we let you go here, we want to tell us where we can find you out there in cyberspace. I know we can find you on Instagram at nbelm, or you can look up Nathan Belmont. But besides the Instagrams,
NBELM.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's my initials, in case anybody's wondering. Like, I have people asking me, how do you spell that? How do you pronounce that? And I'm like, it's not a word. It's my initials.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be so formal when I got my Instagram set up. I didn't know what it was all about. So I just kind of rolled with it. But it's cool. It's just a few letters and it's simple, so it works.
Hell yeah. You on Facebook also?
Yeah, Nathan Belmont.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more. I try to keep that more just for friends and family, but
yeah,
I'm always up to making new friends. So yeah,
hell yeah.
I just yeah.
Do you do the reposts from your Instagram to your Facebook?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes anymore. I don't really even use Facebook for like most stuff anymore. I just pretty much just use both of them to showcase my work. And,
yeah.
Up and coming events or random music I want to share or something. So
hell yeah. Do you have a like an actual business page or a follow page?
No, I haven't. I haven't felt the need to do that yet. Myself. If I don't know, maybe down the line, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as far as me taking my running myself as a business. It's just me. I'm not trying to like say that I'm anything beyond myself. I'm. If you want to buy my glass, it's for me. I'm a business shirt, but like, that's it. I don't have a giant company with like a large line of items or something. Like if you see my art and you like it, then it's just for me.
Hell yeah.
That's try to keep it simple that way. So
yeah, dude, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you being on the show and stuff. And again, like I said, but if you want to hang on afterwards, we'll say goodbyes off the air here. But
okay, right on, man. Yeah, I'll hang out.
Cool. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation with Nathan. Definitely check him out on Instagram. He's doing some really awesome sculptural stuff, and just check him out at nbelm, N-B-E-L-M, on Instagram, and then Facebook, Nathan Belmont. And other than that, hope you all are enjoying our chat this month about lifestyle design and being able to take your talents and go work anywhere. As my good friend Frank Strunk said, we're like strippers. Take our talents and make money anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks. Thank you so much for having me, and maybe I'll be back sometime with Jupe, or be good to chat it up, and talk more story about glass, man. You've been awesome. Thank you.
Definitely want to bring both you guys on at the same time to have like that little round table talk about the concepts of living in like a place where shit's really expensive and how to survive.
Yeah. I'm definitely, I try to just be more nomadic about my lifestyle with things, but Jupiter definitely will probably have some stuff to say about that.
Yeah.
So, for sure.
Hell yeah. So, all right, we'll talk to you all next time. Take it easy. Peace.
All right, aloha.
This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by Glassroots Art Show. Now entering its 9th year, Glassroots is designed for artists and distributors who wish to do wholesale business with shops and galleries. Located at the Monona Terrace Convention Center on beautiful Lake Monona in downtown Madison, Wisconsin, the art show features at least 25 glassworkers demonstrating and creating pieces for public viewing, live and silent auctions, raffles, and approximately 40 booths consisting of raw material supplies, functional and non-functional art, and glass charitable organizations. This year, in 2017, Glassroots will be held October 9th through the 11th, and for any more information, just go to glassrootsartshow.com. That's glassrootsartshow.com. This episode is also brought to you by The Flow magazine. Since its inception, the focus of The Flow has been to provide a bond among members of the lampworking community. This has been accomplished by developing relationships with the finest artists and sharing their techniques with you through in-depth, step-by-step tutorials. In every issue, you can enjoy great content with the hottest artists and cutting-edge techniques using the latest industry products. These features, along with the continuation of our Women in Glass edition, Glasscraft Emerging Artist Awards, inspiring gallery showcases, dynamic general interest articles, as well as health and safety information, make The Flow the leading international lampworking journal. For more information or to subscribe to The Flow, go to theflowmagazine.com. That's theflowmagazine.com.